Do you know what sucks about this? About this walk? When God calls you, you can't turn it off. Sometimes I wish that I could. A lot of times I wish that I could. Because you know that you're just not like everybody else. And excuse the noise in the back, you got builders. They're building next door. I didn't plan on getting up early in the morning, because it is early in the morning. It's about 7 something on Saturday. And did God tell me to come out here and talk to y'all? I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I had to make this video. And I shot a video last night, but it was a little bit too dark, so I'll probably do that one over. It's Jared, the 20-year recovering sex addict, 20-year recovering abusive sex addict, no filters, no edits, no redos. I never asked y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Does it help? Of course, but this one might be all over the place because I was feeling like this morning. And sometimes I don't know what to do. At my last job, not the one that I got laid off from, right? But the one previous, I walked around with my Bible. I was a beacon of light and energy to everybody. I wanted the best for everybody. I want everyone to be okay. I want everyone to know what this joy feels like. And you know what happens? You get looked at. You get looked at weird. You get looked at like you're performing. You get looked at like, not like it's not genuine, but what's wrong with that guy? No one will say it to your face. But I can tell that that's what they're thinking. After a couple of months of being there, there were people that were there for years. And they kind of put me in position to do something different at the job than what I was hired for, you know? And I think that was off-putting to people too. Like, who's this guy who just got here? And now he doesn't have to do this. You can put him in position to do that. It doesn't mean I got paid more. It just means that certain things I didn't necessarily have to do. And they would look for other people to do. I'm not going to get into all of that, but when I got the job that I got laid off from, some of y'all don't remember, but I've said this before on a different upload. When I used to walk in with my Bible and I didn't talk to people for like 6 to 8 months, there was 1 or 2 people at the job I talked to, but I wasn't driving. I didn't have my own truck. So most of the time I would stay at the loading dock at the warehouse, and I was doing other things. Jack of all trades, right? But I didn't talk to people because I was used to being alone and I was used to being homeless. And when you're used to being alone and you don't have family and friends and you're living out your car every day and the phone doesn't ring every day, you become your best friend. So you're always talking to yourself. But did you know when you talk to yourself, you're actually talking to God? I'm going somewhere with this, man. And I'm pouring my heart out to y'all because I don't know what else to do. After a while, especially when I started going out on the truck, I didn't have my own designated truck, so I would be a helper and I would be a fill-in in case someone called out, they went on vacation. And then after about a year and a half, I got my own truck. But if you keep going like that, and even though you know that you're being genuine, people look at you a certain way. And it happened at my union job. I didn't want it to happen at this past job, so the way I would relate to people is talking about the things that I've done and I've been through. And most people can't believe it, and I realize my life is so different than other people. Shout out to my boy Chris back in the day, who was the first person who said, Jared, your life is like a movie, you need to write a book. I didn't write a book. I made this channel. And I feel like no one understands. Because I did move to Vegas at 19. I did have a lot of sex. I did find myself, and there's so many things that I have not talked about on this channel that I eventually will, because I just want a record of it happening. I just want someone to know that you can become the best version of yourself. That's how I started this channel, but it wasn't all about God. So I would talk about my sexual escapades, and people would relate to that and see me as a certain person. It's something to bridge the gap so they can have a conversation with me. Otherwise, everything else means nothing to me. It doesn't strike a chord with me. I don't care to talk about. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have Twitter. I don't have any of that stuff. I just do YouTube to get. Sorry about that. Y'all see where I'm at? We back. Same place I told y'all that a lot of homeless people are at. But I would talk about those things, and I hate it because I also don't really care to talk about it too much on this channel. But I realize those stories do get views, but I don't want to glorify that. And then you realize that there's no going back. Something changes. It's like it changes your DNA when God calls you. You can't help it. This burning desire to want to help people. If I got $5 million today, I would think about 5 million ways to give it away. It sucks because I don't care about money. I don't care about having a job. I don't care about suffering. I don't care about the things that this world glorifies. And I don't even know where it comes from. And you're talking to someone that was so far from God, who led with his addictions, with loving to have sex with women, loving to get high, loving to pop pills, loving to live for the moment, living that fast life. And then one day you wake up and you don't feel like the same person anymore, and you can't go back to it. It doesn't mean that you never ever fall. But it wasn't even hard for me to go 18 months or however long it was without releasing. When I sit there and tell y'all that I don't need to watch porn, don't have a desire to masturbate, don't have a desire to do anything that takes me away from that frequency and living for the Lord. And I don't even understand it. I don't get it. So now when I look at the things that are going on in this world and I talk about that, it's not a I told you so. It's the fact that it pains me because I saw this 4 or 5 years ago, and when people looked at me like I was crazy, now how do you look at me? How do you look like believers? And I hate calling myself a chosen one, but I am. I've tried to ignore it for the past couple of years. I don't like that phrase, but there's no other way for me to go and try to make y'all understand what this is like. So I come out here and I pour my heart out to y'all. But there is no going back. It's not even a love for the Lord or just a fear for the Lord. It's the fact that there is no other way. It pains my spirit. Do you know I used to love horror movies? There's so many things I used to do that isn't exactly an addiction, but now I can't even watch certain things. It disturbs my heart. It disturbs my soul. So when I see people, I don't mean to call you out, but there have been people, and there is one person I used to see at the job, and you would always come at me with Bible verses. I'm scared of people who just quote the Bible all day long, but I don't see the fruit of the Holy Spirit. I just see that Matthew 2 verse 11 and John this and John. Do I know every book in the Bible? Am I familiar? Have I read every last little page? No. Because I'm too busy talking to the Lord, too busy fasting, too busy being obedient, too busy sitting in silence. too busy trying to navigate this world and try to hide it, you know? But that's the thing. You have to realize that I can't tell you how the Lord is real, because there's people that don't believe in God, or people that believe in a God, or people that don't believe in anything. And I'm not passing judgment on y'all. But it's so crazy how God comes for the broken. God comes for the people that have strayed the furthest. And I never understood it. And you see the story. No matter who you want to talk about, Saul, Joseph, Job, I don't need to know them to know that this is real, because the only thing I have to do is look at my life. And then I don't even know how to explain that to people. So you just hide it, or you stay silent. You do. I got a pimple right here. But it's draining. The world is draining. Because the frequency that the world lives on, I'm pouring my heart out to y'all because I don't know where else to go. And it's hard for me when I see certain people, even on YouTube, that call themselves chosen and this and that, and I'm not throwing shade to nobody, but if you care about money and you care about anything other than living for the Lord, then I don't know how much the Holy Spirit is really within you. Because when I sit there and tell you that I don't care, I wish I cared about a certain job. I wish I could focus and want to stack money and do well and have a nice house and have a nice car and have all these things. But I don't. And that's why I sit there and tell you that I can't wait to go be with the Lord. I'm ready for him to come for me today. But I know that he must have something for me here that he needs me to do. So I have to stick it out. And the only thing I know how to do is pour my heart out to y'all, because I'm not sure what he needs me for. But I know it's something. Because you're talking to someone who was so far from this. When God comes for you, you don't have a choice. And sometimes it eats me up on the inside. And I just want to be around like-minded people. But I don't pass judgment on anyone, because I know what it's like to not be this way. And I understand. But understand this. When he touches you, there is no going back. There's nothing but obedience. And I'm not saying that I'm better than any of you. I'm just saying that God is real. Because this feeling, I can't turn it off. It's 24/7. I'm always in conversation with the Lord. I'm always on that frequency. And anything that takes me away from that frequency, it makes me sick on the inside. That's why I don't have family and don't have friends. I mean, that's not why I don't have family, but it's why I can't relate to anybody and I don't have friends. And no one understands. Because the Lord is my best friend. And the messed up thing is, I feel like that's all I need. So am I just going to be alone forever? I don't know. But even if I am, then bring it on. And if I have to suffer, I don't look forward to suffering. I look forward to dying, because I know where I'm going, the eternal kingdom of heaven. But if I have to suffer for him, then so be it. But that's why I made this video to y'all. Because God is real. And the only reason I know that is because I'm living proof. So whatever happens to me, whatever happens in this world, know that the Most High Yah is real, because you're looking at him. And I love y'all. And no matter what I've been through, all the problems, all the losses, all the trials and tribulations, if I had to do it all over again, if this is not the outcome, and God does not pick me, then I wouldn't change anything for anyone. I'll walk out on anything and anyone in this world if it means disconnection from the Lord. Jared, the 20-year recovering sex addict, 20-year recovering abusive sex addict. No filters, no edits, no redos. I love y'all, man. You know my name. You know my slogan. Discernment over delusion. Live and stand for something greater than one's own self-gratification, man. I'm out.